These peanuts are ready to harvest. I'll show you 4 things to look for so that you can harvest yours at just the right time.
All I have needs I have not provided.
I planted these peanuts about 4 weeks ago. So it takes 4 months from the time you plant them until they're ready to harvest. You see how pretty this plant still is? It's all green and lush looking. I dug underneath and the peanuts underneath are not near ready. So I'm going to leave this one. Clear this away. These are not anywhere near mature. See if I can find some more under here. So see here, it's really not mature. You still got your blooms here. After they bloom like this, aren't they pretty? It's going to be another, I would say 3, possibly 4 weeks before this plant is going to be mature. So I'm just going to cover all this back up and leave this carrot here under the protection of the peanut plant and hope for the best on both of them. And I'll come back to this peanut plant in a few weeks. When the plant is starting to lose its vibrant green color, you see here, it just looks like it's starting to die back, but you don't want to wait until it's completely died back. The next thing you look for are what we call pegs. This is a peg. So the branch will send out these little, what looks like roots into the ground, and they start to develop a peanut. And see if I can move that away here. Get this little dollar weed out of the way. Here's another peg that it sent down, and this peanut is actually almost mature. So this is what you're going to look for. If the plant has been putting out these pegs, you know it's time to harvest the main bunch that's in under here. This is an example of the whole peanut plant. These could have probably gone another couple of weeks. You've got some mature ones here. You got immature ones here. But this is an example of what I mean by they send out pegs along the way. Now, if you wait for all of these to become mature, then all of these are going to be so mature that they sprout. And you see those little holes right there, and on this one? That is mole crickets. And if you know how to get rid of mole crickets naturally for an organic garden, I would love to hear from you. Here's one that they totally decimated. So I do suffer some loss to mole crickets. They get into things as they're sprouting, as well as, well, peanuts are the main thing that mole crickets get in my garden. So the last way that you try to figure out if they're ready is you just got to dig 1 or 2 of them up. This looks like it's coming from the main bunch under there, and that's what I'm going to try to pull out here to show you. You don't want to disturb all of them, but you see here we're getting close to where all the bunch is. And you're going to look for peanuts that have this pattern on them. Remember Mr. Peanut? He's got all that nice little plaid looking pattern. So these 2 are pretty mature. And here's one that's not. See if I can wipe that clean. Okay, so you see how smooth this is. It's just starting to get the pattern on it. And inside is an immature nut. These are great for boiling peanuts. Now you see the difference here? Let's see if I can clean that off a little better. Look at the difference in the patterns. Oh, that's another indication. You hear that pop, and you've got some red color on the skins here. Now, if you just peel these and I just dropped a peanut. This reddish cast here will get even more red as they dry out. So this is the perfect time to harvest this whole plant here. I recommend that you use a pitchfork and just try to lift them up from underneath and get them loose. And it's only 8:30 this morning, but I am already dripping sweat here. So what I'm going to do is throw them all in my wheelbarrow here, and I will pull them off the plant at a later time under the shade where it's going to be cooler. Be sure you search around in the dirt, because all these are from peanuts that I didn't find. And I really don't mind, because I'm getting free peanuts. Not bad for one peanut, making all those peanuts. It's a good return, and they're fun. They still make a really long root into the bottom underneath this bed, and that's a good thing. I'm just going to lay those plants right there, and that's where they're going to go, right back into the bed where they came from. Sometimes you're just going to pull a plant that's got different levels of maturity, and you just got to go with what you think is best. This one definitely has some mature peanuts on here, as well as a few immature. But I've already determined I'm not going to roast these. I'm going to boil them. And so some immature peanuts are delicious boiled. Does my hair still look good? So I'm going to take those peanut plants and I'm going to park them under the shade until I feel cool enough to take them off the plant. And what I'm going to do with those peanuts is I'm going to pressure cook them. I'm going to boil them, pressure cook. And it's just easier than roasting them. There's not enough for me to think about roasting them. If you are going to roast your peanuts, you got to let them dry out for 3 or 4 weeks before you do. Don't try to roast them when they're this green. And it's green peanuts that you boil. So as soon as I get these off all those bushes, it probably won't be a lot, but the pressure cooker makes a quick work of it. Thanks for watching, and I hope the next time you see me, it's going to be a little bit cooler.
Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.